And welcome back, everyone, to Overwatch Contenders Fall Series Korea. Hey, Papa Doc, how are you doing? Are we ready to get into our second match of the night? Poker Face versus Streamer. Only one team gets to move up to that grand finals and face against Zero.
So, yes. Oh, of course I'm ready. First off, but Dreamers, they've had a better round, of course, because the rounds literally just got straight on through. It's their map choice coming into this one. But overall, if we have a look, especially this year, whenever Poker Face and Dreamers have gone head-to-head, which they have 4 times in the past, 3-1 for Poker Face. So they have come out stronger most of the time. However, this Dreamers roster has looked incredible so far. And I mean, it's going to look pretty unstoppable to begin with, but Poker Face as well, definitely not ones to be counted out. But don't forget, Poker Face, they had that massive upset to Zero. So seeing how strong Zero was now kind of puts a question mark now for Poker Face. Can they bring it all back?
Yeah, it's because they were not in the exact same group fighting against each other until this moment. I was actually waiting for this matchup to happen in the future because Poker Face, all black and white, no dreams whatsoever. Dreamers, unicorns, bright colors, and they're just going up against each other. And here we have we been here before? And they do have some history 1-3 deficit, and will that happen again? We'll see, as this is the match review, as the lineups from both and the experience that they have from the league pros. I mean, the roster for Poker Face and also Dreamers, it seems like whoever's playing better on the day might actually grab it and go to the grand finals.
It's absolutely stacked. Poker Face with Peppy, who's been so incredible, especially these past couple of days. And Valentine and Proud. I mean, we've been talking about some wickedly good DPS in our last match there with Kilo and Jwoo, but Proud and Valentine need no introduction either, especially after yesterday, how well they did there. And Lego and Simple too, not to be counted out in this roster at all, of course, as their support is key to keeping everybody alive and also laying down damage themselves. But yeah, I mean, if anyone can upset Dreamers' perfect run through the full series, it should be Poker Face.
Yes, Poker Face, their experience through the league. Oh man, there's a whole lot of big stage experiences on them built in, and especially Valentine's Symmetra yesterday had some incredible turret placements, first of all, and also Peppy's Sigma plays absolutely incredible. And Lego, those Lucio boops were some quite interesting, leading into a lot of kills. You barely get to see one of those moments during a match. So that's a roster for Poker Face. As we talked about Dreamers. This is another roster who's going to be on paper very strong. They play really well in the group, but when they're going up against Poker Face, can they have the same performance as Top Dragon's Genji? As we all know it, we've been seeing it from weeks, but can he actually show the same performance on that Genji or whichever hero plays?
Yeah, you said it best. Top Dragon, absolutely incredible Genji there, and then Sad as well. Usually a bit of a hit scan player, but really, Sad can just play whatever is needed. It wouldn't surprise me wherever we go that Top Dragon will take the Genji. Maybe we've been seeing quite a bit of Tracer, especially that last match as well. Might have to pick that one up too, as well as the Echo. But yeah, Jasmine as well. So these two tanks going head to head are some of the best we've got in the Korean Fall series. So this is just a match of titans going up head to head against each other. And it's interesting that they are leading with Lego and Data, because that would you'd make. Oh, sorry, what am I trying to say? It's something about Lucio. That's what I'm trying to say. You're sort of thinking, okay. These guys are obviously wanting to go a little bit more rush, a little bit less Sigma, perhaps, maybe a bit more Zarya. We even see it, of course, with Arista as well. So, yeah, it's obviously Dreamers picked to go first. So, where are they strong enough? That's what they'll want to obviously find out, and they've definitely found out, and will be taking Poker Face there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there as Dada. They're missing also missing support all the way on the right. Used to be on Poker Face last year. Of course, not with the exact same roster that Poker Face has now, but still going up against your old family team might be something. Might actually, you might actually know something special about the team here. As we get the pick, first map will be Ilios Dreamers because they had better results from the group. They do get to pick the first map. No Busan this time, as we will have maybe some more Echo, some more in-flight heroes to come out in this map.
Yeah, you'd have to expect the Echo, which we've been seeing a lot on, especially maps like Lighthouse, even a bit on Well as well. Whereas, yeah, on Ruins, you can see some Widows have come out, but that's where Sojins usually come out to play and based on what we've been seeing in the past with how good these Sojins have been, it's going to be a very intense head-to-head. Maybe Top Dragon even goes on the Tracer, mixes it up a little bit. We've been seeing a little bit more Tracer as this Korean season, Korean Contenders has been developing. As, yeah, Ilios, it is Dreamer's pick. So whatever they decided to do, they have put Lego, like I was trying to say before, on the Lucio. So it might be something like the Orisa rush down with the help of Top Dragon on the Echo.
As we will see as we get
completely
in.
Different.
Well, we go into Well here as Lighthouse could have been pretty good too. Maybe we'll get to see that later on. We do get to see Lego on that Lucio. The boop is what we're looking for, but will that happen against a different opponent? Dreamers. Okay, Poker Face with Valentine's teleport off to a quick position, getting that heal pack first, and Dreamers off to the side. And here's Top Dragon on that Echo. No Genji yet, as we were expecting some more Echoes to be played.
We were, as it seems like the rotation for Poker Face is to go indoors, whereas Dreamers, they're a little bit out, so they're really relying on Jasmine to eat as much damage as possible there. That's so much data forced to use Immortality Field quite early there as Poker Face look to take this point at the moment, but Dreamers already have it in their favor as Top Dragon gets to pick the Lego.
Top Dragon all the way in the air. Dreamers, they have a lot more space controlled because of that reason. Poker Face, either they have to break through with the teleport, but already losing too much of their DPS line. Both of them falling, even with that Matrix. So this is, I think, a huge loss for Poker Face already. Dreamers, they are very close to their ultimates. They didn't even have to use any.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Poker Face used the Ant Matrix and got nothing from it. It really has been a battle of which Sigma has been able to eat the most damage so far. Pepe's done a spectacular job as Ant Matrix from Dreamers this time has been popped.
Yep, very early. And
very early, yeah.
Dreamers, yeah. And Poker Face immediately turned around to the side room and responded. There's a teleport. Top Dragon did spot it. So Poker Face, even with the rotation, not really finding the right value. Oh, Immortality Field gone very early from Simple. Even with that, Valentine still gets caught off right after the field. Dreamers still onto the push. Poker Face on the run, but can they actually find the right side of the battlefield and retreat? Because this is nowhere near the teleport. And they're just going to be falling down left and right here, Dreamers. Easy kills. As Mission actually goes down, but it's going to be okay with the respawns happening real soon.
Yeah, 80% G-Cliff for Dreamers. They're looking really poised to take this one very quickly here. Poker Face, they need to win this fight. They have a lot of ultimates to do so, including both supports and the tanks. And Proud, but it's really the artillery strike coming from Dreamers. Doesn't pick anything up, however, as here comes the response.
And even with that, see Poker Face gets Flux. But can you really find the kill on top of a Dreamers? Responding okay, Dada Falls missing. The both backline are gone, with Lego keeping a lot of the members alive with a sound barrier. Finally, with everything used, Poker Face able to take the point back, starting their own percentages, but Dreamers already on to 99. All they need is one more tick going back to themselves.
Yeah, one more clean fight would get them the win, and Poker Face, The question now becomes, did they use too many ultimates that fight? You do have Valentine, of course, with the photon barrier, which will block a lot of damage, especially if Dada does decide to use that Ant Matrix coming into it. But Jasmine, that can't be blocked a Flux at all, as they seem to be wanting to teleport around a little bit here.
That's early Matrix. That trying to use the best of it, and there's a barrier that you talked about. Dreamers still having an okay output. PokerFace does seem like they're winning this fight a lot with the blocks from the barrier on the front. Proud still keeping up the damage. Jasmine, Peppy having this tank fight in the all the way in the air. Top Dragon and duplicate into Sigma dropping down. Will be going up against Peppy from the back. Bad news for PokerFace as they have already used all their ultimates.
What was that? That was insane from Sad. Proud though, just getting away with 11 HP in a dream, but it will be missing. Still alive with Top Dragon. Can any of PokerFace touch? Maybe Valentine just, but the boop from Missing was too good. And Dreamers take the first map off of PokerFace after it was brutal. They had a couple of ultimates building up as well, G-Cliff there, but really Dreamers were able to take complete control there.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing as a replay, the highlight of Top Dragon, because the Top Dragon's Echo was basically uncontested, having the easiest Echo game of his life. And at the end, Dada Missing just running all the way in the front with Lucio and just trying to have the boop for delay so no one can touch. Dreamers, they got too much advantage in the front. PokerFace had a lot less chance of coming back there. As we go into now, Ruins still keeping up with Valentine's Symmetra. Did work yesterday, but so far against Dreamers, not so great.
So big compositional switch will be Sad on the Widow instead of Valentine, who's actually decided to stay on the Sim here on a very split map. It's going to be hard to build up that charge, or as Sad will be a constant threat, of course, in their own backline as they look to teleport PokerFace right into Dreamers.
Yeah, right into Top Dragon, but Dada Missing keeping that Bastion alive, doing a great job, blocking all the damage, but even through that, finds a kill. PokerFace having Sad all the way here can be somewhat troubling when you have that Widow. You have to have that angle blocked. So Lego gets picked off early. PokerFace has managed to grab the first point, percentage going up a little bit. But it does seem like Dreamers are getting what they wanted to out of this fight. Valentine's still up here. Top Dragon does drop down as Bastion. You can't really do too much alone.
It's a very back and forward fight here. Simple though has used the Ant Matrix, which surely deters Dreamers from coming back, as Jasmine, they will fall. Another switch as well, not a switch, sorry, but a difference in composition is Lego on the Lucio, whereas you have Dada that's on the Brig. So Brig would, of course, deter the really aggressive pushes, but at the same time, PokerFace, they kind of just get to engage and disengage when they want with this Lucio here. And of course, building up towards a really big defensive ult such as Sound Barrier, whereas Dada's is a lot more aggressive rally. Jasmine coming back though on with the Flux, immediately pops it as I say that, as you can see where everyone is because of the sights.
Yeah, because that's a huge Flux in the air. That's going to trap a lot of that. The field does manage to keep them alive, and along with that, the barrier has to pop, the photo barrier from Valentine. Even with that much damage, Dreamers still continuing on with their push. PokerFace, they have to use everything, even the sound barrier, but Valentine just dropped it right before that. Okay, kill onto Dada. Peppy still keeping things alive. 4v4 on the field now as Sad gets popped off from Lego somehow. Finds a kill onto Widow. Now Dragon, one more traded, so this will be really back and forth as we have members coming from the spawn. But Peppy Lego dropping. It seems like Dreamers are eventually going to flip this around, but already we're at 99% PokerFace.
Yeah, Poker Face, as you said, they put everything they had into that, including Simple's Ant Matrix, but so did Dreamers. I mean, you have a look at Dreamers, there was a bit of a switch as well, so ults did go down. Sad now over to the Sojin, or as they're trying to build up their overclockers. They cannot relinquish this point at all here, Dreamers, if they want to take Ilios, as yes, these teleporters from Poker Face, they continue, but this time, Dreamers, they're just going to continuously back up, it seems.
Now they're fighting on the wrong side of the field for both teams. And let's see who comes out on top here as Proud gets early picked up. Top Dragon, the shot, and Jasmine also. So with 2 picked off, Poker Face, don't think it's a really good time to actually fight for possibly for more ult charges. Other than that, unless you can draw the ults out from the opponent, can't really do too much as Dreamers. They're still keeping up the numbers now, almost hitting 50%. So Poker Face, and they really make this push now. Top Dragon, Jasmine ready with the ult.
1 fight down. I'd say 2 fights to go. If Poker Face can take this quickly, they are going to teleport, but the flux in the room.
It does manage to catch a little bit on top of that. The artillery is extra damage. Oh, but still manage. Okay, Dreamers, indeed, they do have way too much of a DPS to pull through. Oh, but Peppy trying to make what he can. And Proud, Peppy, Simple, turning things around with that many men dead.
Yeah. That's it. Poker Face might take this map, I think. I don't think Dreamers can even touch. I mean, Sad has the overclock, but won't even be able to use it as Poker Face. They won that fight. 2 members down. Dreamers, they needed to get more picks off those 2 ults that they used. The flux in the room didn't come up with anything. Then they artillery striked to try and get a combo going, but Lego beautifully sped boost them away and couldn't get anything because of it. So Peppy just comes in with so many kills again and again, as we are going to move into Lighthouse here, G-Cliff, for our final Ilios match. And it's been so close the whole way. No one has any idea where this will go. Obviously, Dreamers, this is their map pick, so they'll have to have some sort of a plan on Lighthouse. It seems like their plan is to go on Diva. Have not seen Diva, which is very risky when you know that Valentine loves to play that beam hero, which is Sim. You cannot eat beams at the so you're really relying on them getting picked off. Someone like Sad, someone like Top Dragon early here. This is a divey comp from Dreams. Have not seen this in a while.
Let's see, even having that Ana on the back, Sad, Tracer. So certainly they do have mobility. A true counter against this teleport, and Peppy does get found out. Did not get into that teleport early on. Top Dragon ready with the shot from the air. And the remaining, oh, that's a really beautiful anti-nade on Proud and Valentine. And Dreamers will get the first cap with those early picks.
Yeah, I love seeing some dive after, especially a lot of poke this series. So seeing some Diva come out now, a Doomfist from Jasmine. I suppose they do have to get back as quickly as they possibly can, as Poker Face, they're already on point.
Yeah. Really quick with the teleport, but still, there are some good contests. There's a pulse bomb connecting onto Simple. What a shot from Sad here. This Top Dragon keeps on pushing, and now Jasmine with the Doomfist. Okay, teleport. What a sleep start there from Meeson. Still goes down from Peppy, but incredible play regardless. Poker Face, now they're all stuck in this small corner of the room and taken down. Dreamers. Wow, the plays, how quickly they can actually react to those teleports. It's incredible.
The whole time, though, Poker Face actually had point control. So that was a nice 23% to their name, at least. You'll take that one, as this is where a lot of ultimates will start to come online. Of course, the Ant Matrix from Simple is up, but Mr. not too far away from their Nano as well. This Nano will probably go into someone like Jasmine, maybe even Sad, or Top Dragon's dupe, which I think they're looking to do, but they've already TP'd.
We TP'd on top. High ground control, Poker Face. Ooh, great whip from Dada here as Nano top. And Top Dragon has a lot of power with the Bastion. Poker Face, they're in the room, but you're getting poked out with so much output. Basically with all the ultimate except for that pulse. Here's the artillery now from Duplicate. And Poker Face, what can they do? They can teleport, but it's being read every time from Dreamers. They really come back. They only have 23% now.
Yeah, these fights have been so long. I dare say this is PokerFace's final attempt to be able to take it. Valentine's photon barriers have been really big and crucial in turning fights around. However, this pulse bomb might be even bigger. It will tell you
all the way on the back.
Yeah.
Okay. He'll does keep him alive. Simple has been doing an okay job, but now that's on the cooldown. Oh, find Jasmine. 4-5. Dreamers. They don't be careful here. PokerFace might actually come immediately. Going to teleport. They're on the point now. Top Dragon keeping the pokes on. They're fine with giving some percentage to PokerFace because Dreamers already having that 85. Proud hiding himself right next to the wall. Teleport gone. Diving onto field those members. Yes.
They also
still
have
not
so
really
many
finding too many kills.
ultimates
Yes,
as
Papa.
I'm just going to say they also have so many ultimates as well. PokerFace at the moment. Dreamers, though, they've somehow come back. I was about to say you can't just have to let this one go, but all of a sudden Jasmine said, no. I'm going to take this entire fight and just win it with some punches and, of course, Data backing them up with constant proc heals. This is 10 seconds to try and touch the point for PokerFace. Valentine gone over to the Sombra. They were picked
93.
out, though. It's only Lego to touch.
95%. You actually get into... Okay, Peppy does manage to come in with a Doomfist, but you stay alive and keep the point on going with the fight. Okay, Meeson gets picked up, but Peppy gone. No tank. Here's the rest of the team. 4v4. Here's Lego trying to make something happen off to the side.
Now, the sound barrier.
Oh, sound barrier a little too late. Proud gets picked up right before that. Top Dragon makes a kill early. BB4. And Top Dragon continues with the kill. And PokerFace, they do not have their DPS anymore. Can they win the fight here? All they can do is look for the sustain. But even the supports are gone. It's just Peppy. And that's going to be the last one picked off. Dreamers grabbing the first map. Ilios.
Oh, man. That was amazing from Dreamers there to take the first match in our series. As yeah, PokerFace, they were playing very, very well, but I loved Dreamers switching it up quite a lot actually to comps that we haven't seen in a little while, especially on Dive. It just works so well on a map such as Lighthouse, whether you do have both sides, the high ground, and you saw some absolutely incredible plays from Jasmine as well. They completely, and I mean this, just turned the fight around into a Dreamers win, and that was absolutely spectacular, surviving all the ults as well that PokerFace threw at them towards the end there. It's almost deja vu from exactly what PokerFace did to Dreamers in Ruins, where they did survive a lot of Dreamers, and they have really, really cleaned up Dreamers. Par and I, we were talking about how it's consistently Dreamers would just leave points and then go and try and find kills. But even if they do that, they've always come up positive. So now PokerFace, though, they're definitely not to be counted out here, as we will go into a short break and it'll be hybrid for our next match as PokerFace. It's their pick.
And welcome back, everyone. Right now, Dreamers trying to run away with things, having an Ilios win, but what a first control already. Both teams going back and forth. The teleport towards the end, though, it didn't really quite seem like it was working anymore. Will that be upcoming trouble for PokerFace?
Well, leading into this next map, it is, of course, PokerFace's map choice here. And I guess depending on if we get subs or anything like that, it will kind of show, are they going to go like all in on this sort of pokey brawl style, or are they going to take them to somewhere magical that we have not seen in a while, like Blizzard World, where we will see a little bit more of that dive. However, I think that would just be almost allowing Dreamers to just take over at that point, because you need to pick something that is a little bit more on the ground, boots on the ground, a little harder to dive. Now, I don't want to say Midtown. We've seen a lot of Midtown, but we saw what happened in the past when a team did pick Midtown and still lost, like SPG against Zero. It did not work out. So having a look at that, maybe we might see some Kings Row.
Kings Row, I do understand if PokerFace, if they want to keep on using Symmetra with the teleport, Kings Row seems to be the map. where it could work, but we already saw it kind of not working towards the end of Ilios. So that's going to be, I think, somewhat of an answer that we will see from the map choice as we get to see it. It is going to be King's Row, so maybe they will be keeping up with that Symmetra teleport. It can totally work in a different way on King's Row that we have seen like yesterday. But Dreamers, they seem like they have found the solution, which works pretty well against Poker Face at the moment. So there will be some extra problems.
How for you, G Cliff? How did Poker Face go in King's Row last night? Did you find this must be why they must have felt comfortable yesterday, come into today? Yes, they are a map down, but it's their decision now to take them over to King's Row.
Yeah, with Sigma and also Symmetra, they basically tore the opponent team apart, had a really crazy push on their own early on. But even without that, my big question again will be, can they actually find a faster tempo or a better spot for the teleporter? Because it's being spotted by Top Dragon all the time. I think Top Dragon has to be brought down early on. Kind of like what we were saying, that the opponent has to find a kill onto Ju or Kilo from the first matchup that we had from Zero. Right now, Top Dragon's Echo is just not being contested at all. Less Echo potential on this map, but still, they really have to pinpoint one of the DPS first, I think. I'm talking about Poker Face, of course.
Yeah, I mean, if what I'm seeing is led to be believed, we might actually not see the TPs this time around. But of course, they are attacking Dreamers. However, they're going on what we've been seeing as the cookie cutter sort of defense for King's Row, with Jasmine onto the Sigma and then Sad on the Bastion, which would take down any TPs from Valentine. However, they've already TP'd over to the far right hand side. This is great for Poker Face. They have the high ground. However, they're going in so hard.
Okay, I like this tempo change from Poker Face right after the teleport, giving no extra time for Dreamers to be on their comfortable spot. Switching positions, going on to the control for the first part, but still Top Dragon doing what he can from the air. Peppy and the rest of the team members forced onto the cafe to the side. But still Sad with this amount of damage that you can pour out. See, still okay. Simple at least gets a kill onto Top Dragon. That's one, but it's still a 2-to-1 trade.
Yeah, they've got to be careful with Poker Face. They've taken the high ground though, and they are slowly rotating, but they don't have Simple. They don't have the BAP with them, so they will fall back to collect their fallen opponents, fallen teammates, before going in with this Amp Matrix. So much damage, G-Cliff, on the point. They're not even going in here, Dreamers. They're going to go right around.
Double Sigma with a duplicate from Top Dragon. First stick is there, but the response, the poke, again has been the winning solution for Dreamers here. Poker Face, right after the teleport, unless they get multiple kills, it's looking like it's going to be somewhat hard as Dreamers to keep on poking out from the distance. Poker Face still keeping the same exact team comp. Still having Symmetra, Bastion, maybe on the Sigma, which they did really well yesterday, but certainly not working as well against Dreamers. Now still the neutral pokes happening. There's that Flux catching 3 in the air.
That was so brutal. That Jasmine artillery strike together just completely shut down that fight entirely. And Poker Face now, they still have 2 more minutes, but that is half the time bank already burnt off, with at least a tick to their name. Proud now will be coming out with the artillery strike. You've got Pepe, who's very close to the Flux themselves, but Data is really the only thing for Dreamers that will shut down a lot of what Poker Face is trying to throw at them, with that rally providing a lot of armor, a lot of sustain. So Poker Face again TPing to the high ground here.
Longer rotation off to the higher ground, as this time Poker Face, they do have 4 ultimates to go, almost 5, as Pepe just 1% off. Dreamers, they're still on the ground, still contesting. There's a Photo Barrier early on with the Matrix from the back, still finding the Dreamers in the mid-time. That's the second tick, so they're hiding away. There's that rally, coming back strong. Double Signal with the duplicate, and Valentine's goes down early. Right before that Sound Barrier, unfortunate again for Poker Face. Dreamers, even after drawing that much time after 2 ticks, having their ultimates back here, losing no one again during the team fight. That's extra tick for Poker Face, but still the battle is being lost, but the entire war has been winning by Dreamers all the time. Now 43 seconds only on the timer.
Yeah, exactly. 40 seconds to go. And this is Poker Face's map, G-Clip. They obviously would have wanted to push it much, much further. They only have one more opportunity to do so. The TP onto the top ground. But again, they do not have enough time to do all their shenanigans all over again. And
this is
go all the way up top and all the way around. They need to come up with something. Proud has the artillery strike at least, but that's about it. Simple's very close to the Ant Matrix, but Missin already has theirs.
Okay, somewhat of a different rotation. Another teleport early flux with the Matrix from Dreamers plus artillery. They want to force them out from the zone. Getting any more tick can be dangerous here with Sad. Finds a kill on the Simple after the field gone immediately. Poker Face, their rotation has been destroyed. Dreamers, it looks like they're about to have the full cap. Only 81.7% from Poker Face. No point whatsoever on their map choice of King's Row.
Right? Dreamers have just shown Poker Face up as they just have not looked great. You've seen what Valentine, they're trying to TP around whatever is going on against Dreamers, but Dreamers have wised up to this very, very well. That's why they've got that Bastion for Sad. It's like wherever you teleport, you're going to get melted instantly. And of course, every rotation that Poker Face did was, would you say, like 30, 40 seconds before a fight actually began? So it's not like you can have quick fights that might take Dreamers by surprise or anything like that. Dreamers, they could read exactly where Poker Face was trying to go. I mean, yes, you got the teleporter, but at the end of the day, it wasn't tricky enough. And now Poker Face, they need to defend this point. At least they have enough of a capture to possibly lose a fight temperamenally and then temporarily, excuse me, and then come back in. But they do not have much wiggle room to stop this series going 2-0 at the moment, as they're going to do the cookie cutter this time round, except for Valentine, who is staying onto the sim for defense instead. So maybe some tricky shenanigans on the defense instead of on the attack. But as you were saying, Top Dragon is just reading them so well, same as Sad too. So they're rolling out exactly how they attacked, defended, sorry.
Now let's see.
Dreamers, as they are going to take Hotel to begin with.
Poker Face on high ground, but let's see how long they can actually stay on that high ground as Dreamers start their pokes. Proud force slightly right behind Peppy. Being healed okay. And Dreamers, all they have to do is literally grab all charges, push them out of the high ground. Okay, Few dropping down. Oh, Proud going down early before that field. And this does worry me a lot. Trap Dragon finally gets caught by Lego, trying to go a little aggressive towards the room alone with Echo. And Sad also being dropped down by Peppy. So it seems like Poker Face might be able to draw some more time. As, okay, Missin actually getting close to getting more than a tick already. Poker Face, they do need to come back. They can't just stay out to the tunnel.
Man, G-Cliff, they need to touch somehow. Peppy's the only one to touch.
That's 2 ticks already. The Top Dragon, okay, Simple. Getting some more, but still the damage output is not. Is it over already? We couldn't because of the duplicate, we could not even see the final percentages happening on the ground. No one was on the point for Poker Face. Or just pushed
that was Poker Face's map as well, G-Clip. It should have been their map. On paper, they've done so well, but Dreamers are just too good right now, as they, just like Zero were not too long ago, are now on their match point, and this could be it. They could be going over to grand finals right now, Dreamers. Poker Face, next is Flashpoint. They need to come up with something to turn this around, because at the moment it is all Dreamers.
To me, this is still very unconvincing from Poker Face's side to have this much Symmetra, but still, you know, it's not working. Okay, of course, King's Row, maybe you thought there was a small chance, but it was going to be incredibly hard. Did not work again. Dreamers trying to run away with 2-0. Poker Face, can they really come back as we oftentimes might have a start of a reverse sweep or it ends with a 3-0. Next map will be Flashpoint. Before that, we'll take a short break. And welcome back, everyone, to Fall Series Korea Papadaka. We are running away with 2-0 score for now. Dreamers are trying to finish us up with 3-0. This cannot be happening. If you know the roster from Poker Face, like, why are they not changing it up, first of all? And what are they thinking at the moment? Because losing to Dreamers, okay, does make sense. They're the strongest from the other group, but still, I think there must be some other things up on your sleeves or from the pocket. You just have to, right now, if you lose, you drop down. So it's time for you to draw everything that you have.
Shouldn't Poker Face be the one with like cards up their sleeves, you know, getting ready to cheat? Oh, this is my winning card that I haven't been showing you for quite a while. But I think you've nailed it right now. It just feels like constantly Poker Face have been trying to run this sim. Even if it hasn't worked, it's just they've been hitting their heads over and over and over and over again. And of course, it has been working most of the time, but Dreamers have been so fast to adapt that Poker Face is like, oh, well, I don't really have anything now. But I mean, we're going into New Junk City now. Of course, it is Poker Face's map choice. This is their final chance to, you know, obviously not drop any more maps. Otherwise, yeah, it'll be their opponent's Dreamers going over to the grand finals here. So New Junk City, of course, a little bit more brawly than the other one. So I'm expecting Muse perhaps to come in, unless of course there's just no more subs. But usually when Poker Face go into New Junk City, this is where they can really turn it around and make it their own. As yeah, Muse on Azaria is an app. It's so good. So I'd be hoping to see that one though. But right now, at least, Dreamers, they are looking very strong.
Incredibly strong. And let's see if Poker Face can actually come back, because it's been a while that we did not have Sorvasa for Flashpoint here. New Junk City, another map where Poker Face, it does seem like this maybe they're thinking somewhat differently, that they are really confident that they can catch Dreamers off guard with the rotation, especially using the teleporter. So far, no changes again from Poker Face, but this is a map where Echo cannot really get as far compared to the other maps that we have seen. So let's see if Poker Face has a plan B here.
Yeah, you can see the top dragon though, they do not want to bring out the Genji against Valentine, so they do respect Valentine quite a bit. However, it is, yeah, we're seeing Valentine again on the sim, so this is the final chance for it to hopefully work out here, as Pepe going in so hard with the speed boost from Lego.
Using that speed boost to go all the way. Here's an extra push. Proud landing some shot. Top Dragon still in the air, keeping that distance away, as we have talked about all day long. Poker Face, though, they're staying together because they have the rotation, and seems like the pressure is their Dreamers. They're actually losing a lot of their health bars. No one really dropping on the ground. As I say that, Jasmine, Dada will be dropping as soon as the Matrix is actually there from Meeson. Slightly too late to keep his members alive, as this rotation, I think they went around this part at least 2 entire rotations in circle. Merry-go-round play.
You gotta get your exercise in, right? Just to go around in circles in arena there. And I think it's just that Lucio, instead of the Brig, worked for Poker Face exceptionally well. They just kept that pushing and Dreamers, they were backing up, but they couldn't back up fast enough. And that's where Lucio is so good at controlling the momentum, controlling how fast Poker Face can just chase Dreamers down. And there's an Amp Matrix that's going to make it really hard for Dreamers to push in.
Poker Face, they continue. 1 ultimate used, and it's still having almost 4 ultimates ready to go, with Valentine catching up. There's that Lux with the artillery together, pairing up Poker Face. Trying to do max damage, as we have the duplicate from Top Dragon already wearing out early on. Sad will be going down. Didn't have to pop the ultimate, at least. The barrier keeping Poker Face alive a little bit. Dreamers, even after losing Sad, trying to do what they can, but it's just not enough. Valentine coming in really clutch this time with Symmetra. somewhat looking like the Symmetra that we have seen yesterday from Valentine finally coming into New Junk City. Dreamers having a tough time on the first point.
Yeah, I don't think Dreamers will try and take this one again. They will just have to leave this in the dust. As Poker Face, Valentine's pick, it worked this time as they will go over to Junkyard. They still have the Photon Barrier, and we've been talking about this. When the Photon Barrier does come out, Poker Face, they win 100% of their fights. As Sad going in with the artillery, a lot of damage for Top Dragon.
Valentine is already gone. Proud, both DPS gone. Dreamers, they have this in their hands with just artillery used, and also Matrix popped a little too late from Misin again, but still all good to go because they will be getting that first point from that Junkyard now, as that early capture seems to be very important now for both sides. But let's see, Poker Face, they still do have Totem Barrier, and also Matrix coming up soon from Simple. There it is. So
Valentine as well with ready. That Photon Barrier too, which should block a lot of that damage from Sad. But first off will be the Air Matrix, immediately Missing goes down.
Top Dragon still had to use that duplicate. Okay, let's see if it actually will be benefiting them or not. I think that's going to be a waste there, as this Echo is not as powerful as soon as we got into the Junk City. Poker Face taking the control back second time here. 47%, not bad, but Poker Face can literally take immediate 30% plus with just one capture.
Oh, yeah, right. And then Pepe as well coming up with as you said, this Flux, which, of course, Dreamers, they don't really have much to shut it down. You got Immortality Field, you do nearly have that Rally as well, but with so much damage, of course, pumped into whoever's lifted up, especially from the likes of Proud and Artillery Strike, which has been a combo we've been seeing more and more often, that Flux and Artillery combo. Lego as well with that Sound Barrier, should things get too crazy, as Poker Face very happy just poking you away from the high ground.
Rally, yep, with the Flux back from Pepe, finds somewhat of damage. Drop Dragon goes down again. Big sign, Poker Face with few ultimates, still keeping the support's ultimate. Plus, you have the lead big time as Streamer. Except for the Rally, they did get to save a lot of ults, but still, the second point will be going into Poker Face. That's a 2-0 now. Dreamers, and we've been saying Flashpoint usually is the map where the miracles happen.
Yep.
And it's certainly happening for Poker Face at the moment with a 2-0 lead now. And we are going
2-0 lead as we go into potentially the final one. If Poker Face is to take this, it will be Ducks. As it seems like Dreamers will be engaging actually immediately with Poker Face with that Flux.
Immediately, oh, that Sound Barrier. No, just not really having the best time there, Lego. Dreamers responding back pretty strong. Okay, Valentine, though, even with all that, was able to respond somewhat. Top Dragon. Oh, some good trading happening at the end of the day. It's going to be Dreamer, but still, that was hectic of a fight. Both sides, they didn't really have to press that big Q button all the way. Still keeping that photon barrier, duplicate from Top Dragon, also misses Matrix. But other than that, a lot has been used from Poker Face too.
Yeah, Missing though, the only one now, the only support with an ult, the Amp Matrix, and that is a lot of damage that could come out from Sad, unless it's all blocked off with this Photon Barrier. Yeah,
with keeping it simple with the barrier and having the artillery, extra damage. Field was gone early. Missing goes down first. 4v5. Poker Face still with the pokes. They are right under here. With the teleport, we'll be able to just escape away. Dreamers still just poking out as they still have 41%. But when is it going to be the time of dropping down to the point? Because the percent is ticking. There's that teleport up. And Poker Face immediately responds. Not too bad with the field, but here's Proud with the damage. Here's Bastion. And that's what you're supposed to do. Artillery. Didn't find any extra target. Still Poker Face, they just could not keep the safe distance. I think Dreamers, they have done it. They have found the good rotation coming into Ducks here and might be able to grab one on themselves. Now, already 61% for Poker Face. They're getting very close.
They're getting very close now. This is pretty much final fight for Ducks. If you are Poker Face wanting to take this one, and they definitely have the ultimates to do so. They have both support ults here, and they just need to be able to kill the Sad in the back. Because if you can't do that, if you cannot fool the enemy's Bastion, so much damage is still available to them. Jasmine really the only one to stop any of this with a flux, but Proud is popping.
There's the early flux from Jasmine, and Sad goes down so early on, and that barrier does get to catch a few. But a lot of ultimates are used. There's still top dragon. Genji can't really do too much by himself. Their Dreamer, they are going to be potentially losing this point. Okay, 62%. Poker Face, they're on the run near the spawn of Dreamers, so they can't really come in and contest. Sad is already there with now on to Sojourn instead of Bastion. Jasmine doomfished.
This is the final fight for Ducks here. No matter what happens, this point will be taken, whether it will go to Poker Face and they will be able to take a map off of Dreamers for the first time in this series here. But Poker Face, they have the artillery strike from Proud. They've been doing so well with these TPs this match. They've really tightened it up as, man, Jasmine's falling so low.
There's Proud. There's no more field there as Valentine. Top Dragon goes down early. And Proud finds a kill again. Jasmine responds back. Doomfist doing some work from Dreamers. But still 3v2. Valentine. Both DPSs are gone. Barriers up. Poker Face might be able to grab this. And they have the team fight. Time sticking. That's 3-0 from Yujong City. Finally, a map where Poker Face comes back hard. Now, Dreamers. What's happening here, Papa Doc?
What is happening? I mean, what were we saying, especially with Zero and SPG? It didn't happen in that series, but we were like, okay, if there's ever a chance of a reverse sweep, a comeback, it seems to always happen on Flashpoint against any other maps. It is Flashpoint where other teams they really pick it up. I mean, we saw Valentine there. We were really questioning their Symmetra going into that fight as their sim wasn't doing very well, especially in King's Row where they got completely shut out from Dreamers. And now, though, it is Dreamers' pick. It's going to be push. It wouldn't surprise me if Valentine, still wants to keep this sim. However, we do usually see a lot more of that Genji, a lot more of that Zarya. So depending on what push map we go to, we'll have to see straight after this break.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Fall Series. The second semifinal will not be a 3-0 as Poker Face strikes back at least as we come into Flashpoint. Now going on to push our next map for the matchup. Will this be another problem? Will Symmetra be as powerful? Or push? There's a lot of open air, and I just keep on mentioning this because it seems like that's one of the best things. Either you have the pushing power with the Lucio, you can do so well in Flashpoint, but when you're off that Flashpoint, you really stop Top Dragon, excuse me, as you have done from Flashpoint, but you were not able to do on the other maps.
Yeah, it will remain to be seen if their dominance that we saw on New Junk City, can remain, right? I mean, we saw it was so back and forth, and then eventually in King's Row, Top Dragon got completely on top of Poker Face, but then it was switched on its head. And I mean, Poker Face, though, they have always done so well on Flashpoint, and anytime that they're on the back foot a little bit, that is where they start to come back and really dominate. Except with Zero. But Zero, that was wild games, those ones. But now that we are moving into push, of course, this is Dreamer's map choice for the second time tonight, as of course they did pick Ilios as our first one. And I mean, it remains, of course, for slightly longer to be seen which map they did choose. It will be New Queen Street. So,
well, Papa, you're hinting a little bit on New Queen. You're hinting a little bit on New Queen, as you have said it before. But Dreamer's pick.
There's too many news. There's too many new streets, new cities.
Yeah, new Route 66, new King's Row. What else are we getting in the future? I mean, remake of the old maps. I'm totally up for it. I mean, if the new maps are good and balanced, new Ilios, I'm totally up for it. Especially the classic maps like Ilios, King's Row, and like Nimbani and all those older maps, I'll be totally fine to have anything new with either the remake or a separate version too.
Yeah, whack new in front of everything. that'll definitely keep everybody happy. But no, as you said, it will be New Queen Street that Dreamers decide to see if this can be their match point that they need to move on to the grand finals, excuse me. But Poker Face, of course, after a really, really good win on New Junk City, their mental will be really high and their spirits will be healthy moving into this one. And of course, they've scrimmed on every single push map 100 million times, so they'll be used to at least watching and seeing what Dreamers like to run. However, Dreamers had such a killer round that really they didn't touch push at all, so you haven't been able to download, you haven't been able to see what Dreamers do on a push map very often, unlike some other teams here. So Pokerface still rolling out with Valentine. They will get to the point slightly faster with the help of the speed boost and of course the TP, whereas Dreamers, they're going to go on what has been kind of working except for that little hiccup in New Junk City. So yeah, it's really just this poking G-Cliff at the top here, seeing if they can get the first pick. Now, we saw what Pokerface did last time, push in with the Lego, but will it happen again, as Proud's actually the first one to get a pick?
Oh, on the top dragon too, so that's a great sign for Pokerface to start off things here in New Junk. As we continue to have Pokerface popping, okay. Still sad, doing a good amount of work from the side. So somewhat more of a trade. Pokerface, of course, winning the battle here as we get the first robot pushing. As I think we still keep it up here. The important part, Lego's sound boost, speed boost has been used only when it was needed. Dreamer certainly is feeling that pressure now after being busted out in the New Junk City. Now, Queen Street, we might be seeing a similar type of story as they start pushing.
Are we, Leah? I think so. At the moment, Lego's been, as you say, doing such a spectacular job. Already 70%, but it's this Ant Matrix actually from Dreamers. That was a surprise, especially for Proud, who first picked in the first fight, but now has picked themselves into second, as just before that cap too for Pokerface. This is where Dreamers needed to make a stand, and they're just going to fall back here, Pokerface. They do not want to take this fight. Fair enough too here, as both teams, though, G-Cliff, coming into this next fight, have so many ultimates to use. But I think the biggest one, we've been talking about it quite often, is that Lego sound barrier, because that's going to shut down a lot of whatever comes at Dreamers. Whereas the only sort of defensive ultimate is Data. And hang on,
that's a snipe from Top Dragon. Oh man, they do. Pokerface, they do have 4 ultimates, but do you really want to fight 4v5 as Dreamers also holding 4? At the moment, that was an incredible pick by Top Dragon. If that happens again and again, Simple only having 21% now because of that late rotation.
You can kind of afford to wait here, Pokerface. Of course, you don't want to wait too long so that they get the cap or anything, so the flux is used.
Early sound barrier, keeping everyone alive. Pokerface, Pappy, Flux. Catch a few, so Dada will be going down right before the field. So great catches, better control, and covers from Pokerface. As I say that, well, hold on. Top Dragon. Wait. The DPS coming down from the air. Picking up a lot, but in the ground, Peppy, Proud, they've been doing a lot of work, Dreamers. So there's certainly a lot of kills happening back and forth, but at the end, Pokerface, with 8 ults spent during that team fight, will be having a big win here.
That was insane. You'd be very happy if you're Pokerface, because imagine losing that after committing pretty much every single ultimate that you had, but you had to use it. You had to use that sound barrier to stop all of Dreamers' damage. But speaking of damage, Missin has the amplification matrix for this next fight. Immediately put Sad behind it to do a lot of damage, and Pokerface, though, smartly, they're not going to take this fight, G-Cliff. They're just going to fall back and wait for that Ant Matrix to go. But in the meantime, Top Dragon, of course, looking for a cheeky pick. But it will be the high ground given over to Pokerface in the meantime here.
Yeah, Pokerface, they're still making the rotation as they have burned down that Matrix time. Now, Simple has his own Matrix ready to go real soon. But Dreamers gathering a lot of bolts. I see a lot of 60, 70, 80% from the DPS tank line here. Matrix up from Simple. Can they land on the damage as Dreamers? This time, they just fall behind to the side of the street. Lego gets picked up, sad. Okay, Missing also down, so one support gone, but that's no sound barrier from Lego.
And here comes the artillery strike.
Oh,
2 at 3 thanks to Top Dragon. As Dreamers able to take that fight after losing, as you said, missing. You're missing, but you still end up winning thanks to the artillery, and you take the lead if you're Dreamers too. So you're pretty happy with that one. And honestly, if they can push this back fast enough, they might be able to get Cap. However, of course, you can always TP. So they are going to fall back here, Dreamers, but they have ultimates to burn if they need to. But really, PokerFace now is looking to contain that bot.
Yeah, they could not quite get the touch, but there is that sound barrier from Lego. It did land, so keeping them alive, getting stunned, but was able to buy some time off of that duplicate from Top Dragon. Now here's Pepe's clutch. And that's going to do a lot more work here, PokerFace. After dropping a little easy from the previous team fight, would love to have this win. Now onto their own push. Can they actually go to that point? Not too far away on that meter mark.
No, it really isn't, and they don't have the speed that PokerFace could match at all. They don't have the Lucio like Lego is, of course. So this final fight will be just before it is about to get capped for Dreamers. They do not want to give front spawn over to them, as Valentine though popping that photon barrier.
Yeah. Early up here as Valentine continued to push with the turrets spotted right next to the wall here. Simple ready with the Matrix. Missing pops that early, but Top Dragon will be gone. That on the other side, picking Simple. Okay, so 1-1 gone each. Jasmine trying to do what he can off the side of this room, but Proud brought 2 down before going down to Missing. So this room is full of just dead machine bodies all over the place.
Full of death. I think Dreamers thought that they had that. They pushed in a little bit too hard. They did what we've been seeing a little bit throughout this series, where Dreamers, they kind of get excited, a little bit too big for their boots, and get completely caught out, step on their boots, and fall flat on their face. And Dreamers now, they do not have front spawn. They're at a significant disadvantage. With only 3 minutes remaining, I know that's usually quite a lot of time, but it can be burnt down quite quickly with an amplification matrix especially. But in push, as Dreamers, they just kind of they're respecting it. They're falling back a little bit.
But still taking some damage, as we have Top Dragon again with the duplicate now onto the other side. And early sound barrier, expecting that Sigma, but that wasn't the choice. Now Pepe with the flux onto the point, will be getting a lot of those numbers in the air. Dreamers did end up losing a lot, so this fight seems like PokerFace is still going to take it at the end. There's Valentine with the TP, now onto the back line, cleaning up duty.
Oh, that was brutal, wasn't it, to watch as Valentine going behind them all. And it seems like consistently PokerFace have the better ult economy. Yes, they used a Flux and a couple of other ults, but they still have the DPS ults, especially that photon barrier, which has been massive against Dreamers at the moment. Dreamers, the only thing they have to answer anything is a Flux, but right now Pepe is smashing on Sigma at the moment, as just poking away as usual. Valentine though looking for that barrier opportunity, but at the moment just respecting Dreamers to push in until Proud. This is some disrespect right here, taking out Data.
Oh, early pick here, PokerFace. They want to push more. They want to go all the way towards the end. Top Dragon gets picked up. Proud doing an excellent job, taking a lot of the DPS line. Also, Top Dragon in the air, which they actually had problems before. So that was photon barrier used at least. But still having that M-Matrix plus a sound barrier coming up soon from Lego. PokerFace looking to close this out within the last minute and 35. Dreamers, no ults available. Can they really make the... Keep this defense ready. Getting very close.
They have to stop it here, G-Cliff. Dreamers to keep themselves in the match. Valentine gets picked off. That's a big initial pick. In fact, everyone on Poker Face just falls over to Jasmine, and they didn't even have to use any ultimates there, which is good because they only have a minute to push it all the way to where we just saw Poker Face push it, and Top Dragon actually switching off of the Echo. It hasn't been working for a little while, so I think it's a good switch for them to make, as they're kind of close to Tac Visor, but really it is sad, of course, with the Bastion. I completely forgot Artillery Strike, excuse me. Missing as well with the Amp Matrix too, but they need to keep this momentum, but the momentum could just stop in an instant. However, Amp Matrix comes out, sad, so much damage.
Just keeping that up, about 66 meters more to push from Dreamers in order to win, as we have less than 30 seconds now, but Poker Face, few ultimates. It was only Pepe and Sound Barrier, and Dreamers did not even get to press their buttons much. We're talking last 20 seconds. Poker Face, can they really have this reverse sweep, keep on going with a 2-2 score now? Dreamers, they have to touch, get close in 10 seconds. Top Dragon ready in position, so they can run.
They have 5 seconds here, G-Clip. On the top is Proud, though. It's going to be hard to dismantle Poker Face from this high ground that they seem to have. Top Dragon, though, with the flank. Can they get anything with this?
There's a Visor, but double support. They're keeping up so much. Top Dragon couldn't do the much. But on the other side, Pepe finds 2 kills, so Dreamers losing a lot more members. This might be it. Poker Face slightly winning, tilting the ground here as Jasmine is trying to survive in the room, but Pepe, everything's getting focused right in the room. There's a Flux to keep himself alive, but how long can he survive alone in that room? And there is it. Dreamers.
It's just missing.
Trying to do what he can alone. But actually, Face coming back strong. 2-2 tied, and we are going to our final map, Escort.
Wow. Would not have expected that, especially how strong Dreamers were, but all of a sudden, this is the Poker Face that we've been seeing throughout this Korean Fall series, and it's coming out in spades tonight. It had to. It took a little while to sort of warm up. There was a bit of a slow putt of the engine to begin with, but now we're full steam ahead for Poker Faces. That was Dreamers' map choice and completely dropped the ball on it, and Dreamers, they need, now they're the one that needs to find answers, as both teams now, of course, have that match point that they will be fighting for in map 5, an Escort, which I don't think Dreamers were expecting to ever happen. Poker Face putting on an incredible show.
Yeah, this is what we were expecting when we had this matchup. I mean, first we had a 3-0, put an early finish to our first match, but it is 2-2. The winner of the final map will be going up to that semifinal. Let's find who that will be right after the short commercial break. And welcome back, everyone. You certainly do not want to miss this moment, as we have a 2-2 tied score for the final map between the two really good teams to find out who the second grand finalist will be. Now I think Papadaka really comes down to who doesn't make the mistake, who doesn't really press that button before going down, and ends up coming to bite them towards the end.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like what is developing, and that you and I are slowly realizing, is that it really has been about this old economy between the two teams and how well they've been established, but then also maintained. Like we saw from Poker Face, consistently had really good ultimates going into the next fight, then the next fight, then the next fight, whereas it felt like Dreamers constantly on the back foot, constantly being the first one to get picked off, and then by that time it's like, well, maybe we do pop some ults in 4v5, and it constantly didn't work for them. Very consistent as well, and that means that Poker Face just were always had the upper hand. And one thing I just want to point out as well is that these two teams have never made it to Escort in this entire fall series. The first time that we're going with Poker Face and Dreamers and seeing how they go in this meta that's developed, and also Dorado, which now I'm probably going to get corrected on this, but I don't think we've seen Dorado as of yet in this fall series. But
I don't
even
think
if we
in
have
Korea at all, or even including APAC, I don't recall Dorado at all during the fall series.
Yeah, me neither. That's what I'm thinking too. I think this is the first time. So with some Dorado coming out. I don't know about UG Cliff, but I really like Dorado. I love this map. It's got lots of high ground on every point except maybe the third. It's got a bit of high ground in the middle, but it's mainly, if you do have the high ground, it's about maintaining it all the time throughout Dorado. And yeah, it is, of course, Dreamer's pick, however, and this is it. This is match point no matter what happens here.
Yeah, I do have to wash away my sins from playing so many Junkrat on this map old times. But we're talking
Overwatch, Jesus.
Oh man, I'm so sorry, guys. For all my teammates that have to play with me after all these years. But we're here talking about Poker Face and Dreamers on this map where we don't actually see too much, and we're on Escort, which is actually crazy of a pick because I'm pretty sure as an opponent you expect like a Circuit or like a Shambali, but all the way at the end on this most important map you come to Dorado? For what specific reason? I think we're about to find that out real soon.
I mean, it'd be so good if Top Dragon's like, you know what, Valentine, you're doing so well on that sim. I'm going to give it a go too, as looks like just a little bit third person peeking here, just in case Poker Face are holding in a funky position, but doesn't seem like it. They are kind of just over the top as very sneaky Dreamers actually, just rotating almost underground, right up the top. A special way as Jasmine is going over to the Diva actually, but does get immediately accretioned as it is sad just looking for that pick on the Widow.
As you can certainly go on the high ground now after forcing Poker Face to drop down, but they can still go back up with an extra teleport as losing no one yet. So there it is, again finding off to the ground, but Lego does not get to go in. Top Dragon finding that early kill onto Lucio. That make the big difference. Poker Face now forcing themselves back right behind the first choke point. And Dreamers with that early pick should be pretty happy. At least got the first corners off going into the first point.
Yeah, Top Dragon has actually switched over to the Echo of the sim. I thought we might see a bit of a sim 1v1, but they're really relying here, Dreamers, on Sad to get that initial pick, whether it is Lego like we saw or Valentine. But otherwise, this is what Dreamers can do. They can just speed boost into you and Poker Face can do. They can speed boost into you, and Dreamers have nothing to answer for it. They do have a duplicate now into the back, getting that Sigma immediately.
Top Dragon trying to turn this fight around on Poker Face's side, as that Matrix helping Proud to do a whole lot more damage. No follow-up kills yet as that Widow is so far away, but Top Dragon 1-1 traded. Jasmine going to be dropping early. Poker Face still
big flank.
Having few numbers left around the payload.
Sad. They were trying something. They were around, but Proud was onto it very, very quickly, and especially because Sad was very, very low. Coming into this next fight, Dreamers actually has made us a little bit of a switch. Jasmine now over to the Doomfist instead of the Diva, which is fair enough too. I mean, yes, you can eat a lot of damage from Proud, but as I said on Ilios, you cannot eat damage from Valentine here, as Sad popping the sights just to see if they can get a cheeky pick, but being on the low ground here, it is hard to find those angles, as Proud very happy just staying alive, putting a lot of damage down main.
To the point, Jasmine drawing attention, and Sad wanted to go for the assassinations. Did not really pay off. The barrier plus the photo barrier, sound barrier, plus the artillery, finding Sad all the way in the back. Dreamers, they cannot find any more kills, and this will be the choke point for them. And now only 1 minute and 5 remaining. Poker Face, they're doing a fantastic job on Dorado.
They are. I mean, Poker Face are stopping Dreamers in the most classic of classic choke points for anyone that's played Dorado, right? It's so hard to push past this as the attackers. In fact, we're seeing a mercy from Dada to damage boost the Sad, damage boost Top Dragon, get a lot of damage in, and see if they can displace Poker Face. I don't know. Dreamers, they need to come up with something. This is their map choice, but at the moment, Poker Face are dominating.
Yeah, they're certainly not having a good time. 30 seconds left as Sad is looking for more with Soldier now. Top Dragon again on Sigma duplicate. And Proud has been putting out the amount of damage. And not really finding kills so far. But still, Dreamers not able to break through Poker Face. Only 13 seconds. This is going to be it. No point. Only a little bit. 62 meters up. And I think that's it. Unless Dreamers can put off a miracle somehow. Less than 5 seconds. 2. And
Come
booped
on,
away.
Dreamers, you got it. They did touch last
That
second.
had to first slide in.
Oh no.
There's Jasmine with
This
the
is
Doom
not-
Fist, but it's even going to be the longer respawn now. Extra time. Poker Face, they have the entire team 5 men up. Okay, missing brought down. Jasmine was trying to delay, but there's a sound barrier. I think that's going to be the seal from Poker Face. The double barrier from from Valentine too. That is it. Did not get to go through that show.
That was Dreamers going to Dorado, not Poker Face, right?
I know.
What? I guess Dreamers' idea was, oh yeah, we've got high ground. We'll go Diva. We'll get Jasmine on Doomfist as well and dive the backline and really disrupt Valentine. But time and time again, Simple was able to keep everybody alive with Lego as well. They popped a lot of ultimates, but so did Dreamers in that fight that we're seeing before us. And again, ult economy, but also positioning and the way that the comps are working. Poker Face can just hold Dorado so close. They only need to get Poker Face in their attack to that waffle. It is not very far to push now as Dreamers.
Oh yes,
they're in shambles at the moment. G-Cliff.
Yeah, they're in shambles. I think if I was anyone on Dreamers, I think I'll be shaking at the moment. Not really knowing what to do. Your brain cell does not function the same way when you are about to have a reverse sweep against you. Poker Face, ready to go with that Lucio. Same comp that we've seen all over 5 maps. Dreamers, Mercy. Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of
extra
Mercy on the attack.
Power on the Top Dragon. Okay, let's see if this works out.
I mean, very quickly though, Poker Face is turning Dreamers' dreams into nightmares, but Poker Face, again, they're going to TP. Is that the top or did it get destroyed? I think it got destroyed a little bit too quickly as Dreamers. They're just going to try and hold to the top as Proud falling so low. Jasmine getting a pick there. Dreamers need this. They need to get constant pick after constant pick, G-Cliff, to keep themselves in this fight.
Yeah, having a really good hit scan power from Sad's Ash on the side. And Poker Face, their, I guess, not so secret push on the low ground. It was not really successful. And didn't even get that much ult charges from that fight. Only a little bit from the support line. That's about it. Proud Valentine very low on the post percentage. Instead, Top Dragon very close to the ult. So I say that Peppy finds the kill.
Like, though, the Amp Matrix, whenever it comes out from Simple, how much damage Proud can do through it. Top Dragon, like you said, does fall. Slept up, though, is Proud in the back. So I guess it finds a little bit more time. But Dreamers, this is their last chance to defend. Look where they are already in their fight, that final fight territory here. Top Dragon is back, does have that duplicate. Sad getting very close to that Bob as well. But what a
teleport from early Matrix. Poker Face, you're already onto the back line of the payload. They don't even care. They win the fight first and then push the payload. No, Dreamer. Top Dragon. What? They did it. A 3-2 reverse sweep against Dreamers.
It was in semi-finals. Dreamers dropped everything. Poker Face came out. They had all the cards underneath their sleeve that they pulled out and went, actually, we're going to keep running this comp. We know it's going to work. Yes, it took 2 maps to sort of configure, to sort of work out, but the reverse sweep from Poker Face as they keep their match rate into Dreams now a clean 4-1 as, man, it was looking all Dreamers' way halfway through that one, but very quickly, all a nightmare that Dreamers could not wake up from as Poker Face will be your semi-final champions and will move on to the grand finals versus Zero.
Yeah, the Unicorns go down in semifinals. And Zero versus Poker Face will be the grand finals happening tomorrow at the same time. But what a reverse sweep keeping what they have practiced and proving themselves to be the grand finalist after trying it over and over and over again in map 3 New Junk City, getting that big 3-0, a huge boost after losing both Ilios and King's Row, right after coming back big in Flashpoint, and then a new Queen to Street, and right after Dorado, a map that we did not really get to see for a long time. And that was a choice from Dreamers too. A bit of a surprise that they were not able to go through that first choke. I know, and Peppy will be the player of the match, and certainly deserving this 5 stigma, which doesn't really make sense to me still. Peppy made it work.
They've made it work so consistently as well. I mean, to begin with, it seemed like Jasmine Sigma was top notch, but then as the rounds kept going and as the reverse sweep kept chugging along, the engines did not stop, and neither did Pepe, who was leading the charge, was shoveling the coal into the front of the train. And it was so powerful for PokerFace to turn this fight around, to allow Valentine to pop off on the sim, to allow their healers to build up, of course, their support ult so quickly. And it was that matchup between the Lucio and the Brig, but ultimately it was the speed and the aggression from Pepe that kept everything going. And here is the results for today. SPG fell to 0-3-1, and then I would almost say this is an upset because it was a huge reverse sweep. PokerFace winning against Dreamers 3-2. That will be Zero and PokerFace going head-to-head tomorrow night.
Oh man, what a matchup that we have for the final day. And it will be at the WTG Esports studio, live in front of audience. So Zero, they better be ready. PokerFace, when they have the momentum, they can bring down unicorns, at least, to say the least. And looking at the schedule here, Zero versus PokerFace, as we have seen these two teams surviving until the end. Who's going to be taking that trophy from the grand finals of Contenders Korea? Come back tomorrow. Awesome match that you certainly do not want to miss.
Oh, you do not want to miss this. We just saw Zero dismantle SPG very quickly. The golf club team being sent packing home completely +10. They didn't get anything under par there, but Zero now coming against PokerFace. It is all up in the air. Zero looks incredibly strong, and then PokerFace, they're kind of like DAF in a way from APAC. They take a little while, they need to download, then they need to adjust, and then they flatten you entirely. And that's exactly what PokerFace did. It took them 2 maps, it took them to the very edge. But Flashpoint, like we've been talking, is the map that just turned everything upside down. And yeah, Dreamers gone. PokerFace take it.
What a day, and a reverse sweep to finish off the day. And PokerFace, they should be feeling so much of a boost in their confidence level going into that grand finals. When you have a reverse sweep like this, sometimes it actually carries over to the next day. Let's see if it continues, because Zero, they still did seem like a very strong favorite of the entire tournament with a 3-0.
Very strong, yeah.
Up against a very strong opponent of SPG. So that will be one match that you guys certainly do not want to miss even a second of that match. Oh man, but still, my adrenaline is still pumping so hard from the reverse sweep from PokerFace and Dreamers still.
I mean, think of it this way, G-Cliff. The 4 DPS going head-to-head, none other than Jaewoo and Kilo, who are absolutely popping off. I mean, Kilo, player of the match. Jaewoo consistently getting pick after pick into the in the backline of SPG, going head-to-head against Valentine, who was that sim player who... yeah, started off a little bit rocky, but once they were, as we've been alluding to this whole time, just once they had that train rolling, completely steamrolled over. And then, of course, Proud and Finale as well for PokerFace. So, oh man, I just also want to say a very quick thank you to G-Cliff. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honor to be alongside one of the greats. I've had an absolute blast this series.
Yeah, certainly. And the question I think will still continue. Poker Face, can they still run the symmetric comp? And with the Sigma, is it still going to work? Dreamers eventually did work, but will they still have that many chances against Zero, who can also react with so many different team comps? That's going to be the biggest question I think that will carry over with one of your favorite duo. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow for the grand final. So you guys won't miss a single thing. They'll catch every single thing for the grand finals.
If you think about it, Poker Face as well, they have even more time to download their opponent's Zero, because it will be longer than, of course, the first of 3. So have a little bit more time to try and get there if they do want to run the sim again, or maybe this was just a speciality that they wanted to run into Dreamers and they're going to come up with something absolutely insane like the Hog and Torbjorn. You know, you hook him, my turret will cook
Hog
him.
and that's 2023? What are you talking about, Papataka?
We're seeing Sim in the most random spots. I want to see Hog. Before
I know we always have a spot in our hearts for Hog. Maybe some don't, but
most don't. I think nobody likes to get hooked and then completely exploded when that one shot was a thing.
Yeah, but thanks everyone for watching, because and you do not want to miss the grand finals tomorrow. So come back tomorrow for the grand finals for Contenders Korea. But for us, we'll see you next time.